Sabi niya, Brother Mon, the other day, ang lalaking eroplanong bumaba dito na mga military planes. Punong-puno, sabi niya, ng war material. Pati daw mga tangke. Binababa doon. But of course, the implication was, sinasabi niya, these were American armaments. Probably for use by the Americans. But what I've always said is that the MOA serves American strategic interests. They've always been looking for a replacement for Clark Field.
Correct.
And they probably felt that locating it in Mindanao strategically is better in the event that there is an aggressive China.
Correct.
They have a better response time mechanism. But at the same time, it will give them an ability to interdict fundamental Islamist movements in Indonesia and Malaysia. Because if they have an arrangement in Mindanao, let's say with the BME, they will be both guarantors of the survival of BME, economically and politically, but at the same time have the ability to interdict any kind of activity in that area should it become necessary.
You're correct. In fact, there's been almost an admission that the American presence in Mindanao is no longer as part of visiting forces agreement, which is covered by the dissenting opinion of the Chief Justice in the case of Zamora versus Executive Secretary, where the Chief Justice said, if you have a visiting forces agreement with no maximum period by which they can visit, it amounts to a permanent basing agreement.
I don't know whether I will agree with that definition.
Well, that's what the Chief Justice said. But what this NGO, Focus on Global South, said is, in fact, this is now the American, new American defense policy because permanent basing is just too expensive. So they just want ad hoc basing, no? And they use the BFA as a cover, but they have actually bases all over Mindanao now, in Zamboanga, in Sulu, and I think they also have in Maguindanao, no? Not to mention a suspected submarine docking place in Gensan, no? In Sarangani Bay, no? Now, of course, they have a strategic interest. They want to eavesdrop on our Muslim neighbors. They want to deal with terrorists based not only in Mindanao but in the rest of Southeast Asia.
Kasi naging training ground ng
Correct.
Mindanao eh.
But there's also the issue of natural resources. And I think to them, natural resources and the wealth of Mindanao, because their new colonial power, is equally important to the strategic value of Mindanao. Well, let's not forget that the airport in General Santos was built by Americans. The highways surrounding the airports were built by Americans, and they were built to be landing strips if needed be, no? And that is why, let's not deny it, no? That Americans have an interest specifically in Mindanao, and this includes strategic and economic interest.
And it does not matter though what our constitution says.
Correct.
Ang maganda nito kasi, if there is a treaty or an agreement between BME, if it is formed as a sub-state or even as an expanded autonomous region, one of the most difficult provisions of the Memorandum of Agreement is that it was almost ceding treaty-making powers.
Correct.
To the BME.
Correct, because they were given under the MOA AD the power to enter into agreements with foreign states. Now, what's interesting under international law is definitionally, a treaty can only be entered into by sovereign states. And that is why the court really said, this is an anomaly, because you're granting, supposedly, a province within the Philippines, a power being exercised only by sovereign states. Not to mention the fact that the MOA AD also gave them maritime zone. Sa karoon nakakita na Bangsamoro entity had its own territorial, contiguous, and EEZ, no, which is ridiculous. No? Under the UNCLOS, these different maritime zones will only come about if you are a country, no? So that's actually recognizing them as an independent state, and that is why, rightfully, the Supreme Court, even by a very narrow vote, declared it unconstitutional.
Actually, it's not as narrow as it seems. The 8-7 vote there, if you read the dissenting opinions, many of them agreed with many of the provisions that, of the majority vote objecting to the MOA.
It's the justiciability lang.
They were talking simply about, moot and academic na ito kasi the
Yes.
government already has said they won't go through with it. They have disbanded the peace panel, etc., etc.
Correct.
Sa kanya sinabi nila, there's no need to ano. But I think that issue was well covered by the Supreme Court about whether even that is, the moot academic rule cannot prevent the court from taking cognizance, and they cited many reasons kung bakit ganun nga.
Alam mo, ito pa isang problema natin eh. Despite the fact that that agreement was nullified, no, many of those negotiating peace now for Pinoy were ardent supporters of the MOA AD.
Sila
King
din.
Deles was so in favor of it. Bagay, si Ging Deles naman talaga is neither here nor there, no? She's in any administration, basta in power, no? But she was a diehard supporter. Dinky Suliman, the progressive groups, okay? Even the negotiators were all for MOA AD. So, are we kidding ourselves when we say that we have learned from the MOA AD? Or is it a reality that the same people are pursuing the same thing but calling it by a different name?
Dog under a different collar.
Yes, yan ang problema natin.
Kanya lang, as they say, if you're gonna, in other words, what they're saying is, we will give you a subterfuge or a, kunyari ngayon, either expanded or substate, but in fact, with all of the powers of an independent state.
Well, in fairness, as far as their formal proposal is concerned, the 341, they propose nothing. Yun naman ang mali. Kasi, you should not give them the MOA AD because it's been declared unconstitutional, but at the same time, give them something for crying out loud, no? And
What
I
do you
don't
want
see
to give
anything
them?
new in 3-in-1.
What do you want to give them?
Well, I want to examine that autonomy law.
But aside from that, which is a unilateral action on the part of the GRP, which we can take up at any time we want with Congress to examine the autonomous law, pero ano ang framework ng expansion ng autonomous law na yon?
Well,
in other words,
okay.
constitutionally, how should you frame the expansion of the autonomous? Is that going to be simply a means to subvert the Constitution and
No.
provide and grant or devolve powers to...
Ang aking proposal dyan is to come up with an alternative organic act for autonomous Mindanao, highlighting not only genuine autonomy, but actually yung giving to the autonomous region powers traditionally exercised by the national government.
What about those places that have voted not to be part of the ARMM or the autonomous region?
Alam mo, that's a very serious point to consider.
You know
because
what,
the right to self-determination is a human right. And when people have voted that they don't want to be part of the autonomous region, then that should be respected.
Alam mo, I'll tell you something that my friend from Zamboanga told me. Alam mo sabi niya? Ang mga Kristiyano dito, sabi niya sa Zamboanga, nag-aarmas na kasi sinasabi ng MLF, kukunin nila lahat ng properties doon.
Well, meron naman kasing historical basis yan because at one point they were going to base the autonomous region in Zamboanga, no? Even if Zamboanga is predominantly Christian, no? So I guess the people of Zamboanga know only too well, no, that possibility exists. Kaya nga, but the reality is the Manila government will only accede to that because they want to please the local leaders of Muslim Mindanao.
Okay, but
no?
how do you then, is there a means by which you can expropriate and compensate? What about all of those, many people in Mindanao bought lands from Muslims. The Muslims sold it, sometimes several times over. But now that they have title to the property, now sasabihin hindi, that now belongs to the state, to the Magsamoro entity.
Oo. Well, that's why I also objected to the use of ancestral domains in the MOA AD. My belief is the ancestral domains only applies to indigenous communities which did not have any concept of land ownership. I don't think it should be applicable to the whole autonomous Muslim Mindanao because in the first place, they're not even one indigenous group of people. The only thing they have in common is the Muslim faith,
And not all
which
of
is
them-
even imported from abroad. No?
At saka marami pa din namang mga tribes doon na hindi Muslim. We've got another text here from Narj Romero of Angeles City. Karay, I stayed in Malaysia for 2 years. And so Indian, Chinese, and Malay, races with different cultures and religions, but live harmoniously. Problema kaya ang mga leaders natin.
Ako, I agree with that.
No,
I
but-
have been to Malaysia many times and I've seen this. No? It's not just in Malaysia, it's also in Singapore, it's in Europe. I mean, there's no such thing now as a nationality in Europe. No? You can go to London, you find people of all sorts of nationality. It is to the interest of our leaders to maintain the status quo because that is how they gain power, and with power comes economic power as well. It's a rotten system that must be completely rebuilt.
But do you think you can compare the way things are in Malaysia with the way things are in Europe? I
Well-
don't think so. I mean, sa akin, it kind of begs the question because in Malaysia, there are many things you cannot do.
Yes, correct. No, we have more freedoms no, compared to Malaysia. But
Basic
I guess,
human rights are not necessarily respected there.
I
You can
guess
still be incarcerated without charges.
I guess what our televiewer is saying that it is possible for people of different races to live harmoniously. But we have a conflict in Mindanao not because of the race